Hey everyone, I'm doing my best to fake my voice right now because I'm kind of super sick. So if you hear my voice sound a little worse than usual at times, that's the reason. Anyways, thanks for watching, on with the video. I have a ton of stuff to cover for this arc, so we are going to get straight into it. I'm Wheeze, and if you like this, you can check out the other parts of the series on Hunter x Hunter. Thanks for watching. Spoilers for this and previous arcs. Gon and Killua go to Whale Island after going through Heaven's Arena. After introducing his new friend to Mito, she gives them a puzzle cube that Jing had left for him. After solving the puzzle, they find a memory card, a ring, and a message from Jing. The memory card is for an extremely rare game named Greed Island, and that is their next clue to find Jing. Killua contacts his brother Miluki and finds there is a copy in the Yorknew auction, so they leave for the city and work on making enough money to get the extremely expensive game. Meanwhile, Kurapika learned Nen and found a job protecting the daughter of the head of a mafia family. Neon, who Kurapika got put in charge of protecting, wants to visit a mafia auction to purchase the Kurta clan eyes that Kurapika also wants for personal reasons. Meanwhile, the Phantom Troupe attack the auction, killing everyone in the auction room, but they find the real merchandise has been taken before they got there. They escape in a hot air balloon and get attacked by the Shadow Beasts, who are the highest level guard in the mafia. After killing the Shadow Beasts, the Phantom Troupe gets the merchandise. However, not before Kurapika hurt Uvogan's pride, so he seeks out the chain user to fight and kill him, but Kurapika kills Uvogan. Through a series of events, Gon and Killua get captured by the Phantom Troupe, but then Kurapika captures Chrollo, the leader, and they offer an exchange between them. Pakanoda exchanges the boys with Chrollo, however, Kurapika makes a rule with his judgment chain that Chrollo can no longer talk to the spiders and he cannot use Nen. Hisoka challenges Chrollo, but with no longer having power, Hisoka is no longer interested in him. Pakanoda delivers all of her memories to the other members of the Phantom Troupe, which breaks a rule Kurapika made with Judgment Chain on Pakanoda, which kills her, but allows the other spiders to know exactly what happened and what Kurapika's powers are. Goodness, this arc is complicated, but it has so many great moments, and is extremely entertaining all the way through. I love almost everything about this arc. The characters are fantastic, the struggles and problems that all sides go through are so well done that it's easy to root for anyone. This arc gave me chills so many times. I'm going to get straight into characters because that is what I really want to talk about the most. Chrollo, Lucifer, is a beautiful man. Holy crap, I love him. Every second he was on screen, I was hyped for him. His whole vibe is amazing, and when he went into action, he did not disappoint. He has a million good moments in this one arc that I will get into, but he was my favorite new character by far, and that's saying something. We got a lot of good new characters. We've got the entire Phantom Troupe. All of them were good. However, the ones who stood out to me were Nobunaga, Phaeton, and Uvogan. I also like Shizuku and Shalnark a lot. Uvogan had some amazing moments, which makes his death much more powerful. Nobunaga I just really liked throughout the entire arc. His personality was very different from the rest of the troupe, and you could feel his pain from Uvogan's death. It's surprising how much of a family the Phantom Troupe feels like. Phaeton is just the definition of cool. He is on stage during the massacre at the auction, and all he says is, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen," so I'm skipping the formalities. Then Franklin opens fire on the crowd. It was pretty great. In Kurapika's group, we have Melody, who is a really great character despite looking super freaking creepy. Her ability to determine truth by a person's heartbeat makes her a good friend for Kurapika, and gives us some deeper look into his character. Squalla was the only other character I really bothered remembering. His death was actually shocking as it happened so suddenly. As with the earlier arcs, Hunter x Hunter does not shy away from death. Squalla's death was pretty sad. I can't think of anyone else worth mentioning. On to the big moments. My last few videos, I kinda went over everything that happened, but I don't want to do that. These will just be some of my favorite moments, not doing a recap on everything. First, the idea that there's an extremely rare video game that Gon must obtain for his next clue is great. The old video game memory card is also awesome. I love slightly old technology like that. It was really unique, and it has since become obsolete, so seeing it again used in a situation like this is really cool. Obviously, the reason the technology was older was because this was written around 1999, early 2000s. Hunters are always supposed to be hunting something, and that can be anywhere between a dragon and a rare video game. The broadness of the world of Hunter x Hunter is extremely impressive. It was great to see Kurapika again. He shines a lot in this arc, more than any other of the main four. He's smart and a great fighter and a very powerful Nen user. With the extreme restrictions he put on his abilities, it gives a satisfying reason why he's able to take down so many members of the Phantom Troupe. Also, the aesthetic of chains is really cool. He wants to punish the Phantom Troupe for killing his clan, not necessarily just murder them. So the use of chains could symbolize symbolize his desire to stop them from doing the same to others instead of just mindless revenge. But they look cool, and that definitely matters more. We got some more high-action, fast-paced fights in here, but they felt much more weighty than the structured fights in Heaven's Arena. From the small test Kurapika goes through with the fights against the puppets, to Chrollo versus Zoldix. There was a lot of great fights, all of them well animated. Before I go into detail on some of those fights, there was first the heist, and the Phantom Troupe know how to make an entrance with the slaughter at the auction, but they run into some problems with the full execution of their plan. First, the merchandise was taken from the safe before the auction started, so they had to find Owl, one of the shadow beasts, who took it. The other main problem was Kurapika. Just Kurapika. The Shadow Beasts are pretty lame. They got hyped up as this elite group, like the Phantom Troupe, but they are so out of their league, it's pretty funny. Worm is one of the ugliest characters in all of anime, and somehow he is worse in the 90s anime, and even worse in the manga. However, he is the first to be defeated in the fight against Uvogin. So Porcupine and Rabid Dog manage to stop Uvogin and paralyze him, and then Leech starts injecting leeches into his body that will kill him. Uvogin is paralyzed from the neck down, so he simply bites off half of Leech's face, and then spits the bone fragments at Rabid Dog, which kills him. Then he yells so loud he bursts the eardrums of Porcupine. Meanwhile, the Phantom Troupe are playing cards because they are bored on the ridge right next to him, which is the true biggest flex in this moment. Phaeton gets to show off by killing the rest of the Shadow Beast, along with Shizuku. The next big moment is Kurapika against Uvogin. Kurapika is freaking awesome. Uvogin actually goes after Kurapika after getting captured by him for a bit when he was paralyzed. So they fight on the outskirts of the city, and Kurapika wrecks him. With the very specific powers against the Phantom Troupe, Uvogin gets defeated, disobeying Kurapika's orders, not selling out the troops with the words, "Die." Uvogin's death in itself was amazing, but it also pushed the story forward in some massive ways. Seeing the Phantom Troupe mourn the loss made them even more likable and relatable. The group seems to love other members of the group, but it doesn't care about anyone else. I really liked everything with Killua and Gon when they were captured by the Phantom Troupe. Before that, they were just doing whatever to make money, which was still fun, but the worst part of this arc. But I can't think of any huge moments that I want to talk about here. The dialogue was really good, especially with Nobunaga, and we got to see more of how the Phantom Troupe operates. But now I'm going into Uvogin's Requiem. Before that, I need to talk about Chrollo's manipulation of Neon. This scene gave me chills. The most terrifying thing about Chrollo is his versatility, which is reflected in his ability. Skill Hunter allows Chrollo to steal Nen abilities from other Nen users. It also reflects Chrollo as a thief, always stealing from others to improve himself. Chrollo shows himself as a gentleman in front of Neon and steals her ability while getting his fortune read. He cried seeing the fortune, showing his real attachment to the members of the Phantom Troupe, especially Uvogin, who was one of the founding members. This leads to Uvogin's Requiem. Chrollo stands on a building, overlooking the destruction as the spider mourns for the lost limb. Killing the police and mafia members, they shed blood to mourn for their loss. The Phantom Troupe is very bad. They murder, they steal, but they aren't completely heartless monsters. You'll feel for their loss, even if they are terrible people, which is what makes them such amazing villains. While a complex plan is going into effect to fake their deaths and make a lot of money, they were doing more than just mourning for Uvogin. Chrollo encounters Zeno and Sylvia Zoldyck. Chrollo is an absolute mad lad. The biggest reason is him having zero fear of death. Instead of fighting the father and grandfather of Killua, going all out to kill them and save himself against the famous assassins, he instead tries to steal their abilities with Skill Hunter. They were hired by the 10 Dons of the Mafia to kill Chrollo. However, Chrollo had hired Illumi to kill the 10 Dons. Once Illumi had killed them, Zeno and Sylvia leave Chrollo alone because they will no longer get paid. This fight was so awesome. The animation showed how epic all the fighters were, especially Chrollo, who was fighting 1-on-2. It really shows how powerful he is before the showdown with Kurapika. The best part for me was when Chrollo asks if they fought 1-on-1, Chrollo against Zeno, who would win. Zeno replies with, "I would, unless you were actually trying to kill me." Then Zeno and Sylvia leave. Chrollo falls backwards and complains that he wasn't able to steal their abilities. Chrollo feels like a genius strategist with so much knowledge about humanity and philosophy, while still also being a child. His personality is so unique and strange, it's easier to tell what Hisoka is thinking than what Chrollo is. Finally, we have Kurapika kidnapping Chrollo and having the exchange to give Gon and Killua for the Phantom Troupe leader. This is where the power system of Hunter x Hunter really comes into play. How the system works, putting more extreme conditions on your ability, allows Kurapika to defeat Chrollo, who is super freaking powerful. He defeats him pretty easily, even though Kurapika would get instantly killed by the Zoldyck assassins that Chrollo held off earlier. There was a lot here, with Hisoka manipulating his fortune to keep the Phantom Troupe in Yorknew, Gon and Killua not escaping from Pakanada, which was a sweet moment showing some of the better side of Gon and Killua. But I want to skip to the ending, where everything went down. Gon and Killua are safe, Pakanada died, giving her memories to the Phantom Troupe, and Chrollo is stuck alone, not being able to talk to the only ones he cares about. Hisoka's plan is finally finished, as he faces off against Chrollo without any other troop members around him. He challenges Chrollo to a death match, with ecstasy in his heart from the fulfillment of the plan to finally fight such a powerful man. Then Chrollo tells him he can't use Nin. Hisoka's face in this moment is one of the best parts of Hunter x Hunter. There's a lot of anticlimactic moments like this in the series, and they are all so fantastic, because they leave room for the satisfying moments to happen later instead of just leaving you disappointed. Alright, that's all I have for this arc. Yorknew is the arc where Hunter x Hunter really starts to show how good it can be. The world building and pacing with a fantastic plot and complex struggles. The Yorknew arc was a huge payoff for everything leading up to it. On to favorites, which are changing a lot this time. We are finally getting to the really fantastic characters. For this arc, I have Chrollo as my favorite, followed by Kurapika, who had a lot of focus this arc and was awesome. Then at number 3, Hisoka, number 4, Nobunaga, and number 5, Killua. Killua didn't do a lot this arc, but he was still fantastic nevertheless. My favorite moment was Chrollo versus Zeno and Sylvia. The fight was fantastic, but this arc relied less on big standout moments and just had a bunch of awesome things happen in the plot itself, one right after another. So there wasn't a big Gon versus Hisoka kind of thing going on that everything was built up to. Kurapika's fight with Uvogin takes second place here. Over all the arcs, for my favorite character, we have Kurapika jumping up to number 1 because he was so fantastic. I always liked him a lot, I just needed some focus on him to really have him as my favorite, and that's what we got. Number 2 is Chrollo, who I wish we got more time with. Number 3 is Hisoka, then Killua, then either Gon or Leorio. I guess I have to go Gon. I wish Leorio was better, and I still like him, but he hasn't gotten good character development to even consider him much of a main character anymore. Finally, for my favorite arcs, obviously Yorknew is number 1, Hunter Exam at number 2, Heaven's Arena at number 3, I forgot to mention favorite arcs in the Heaven's Arena video, RIP, and Zoldyck Family at number 4. That's it for me. Check out the other videos in the series and subscribe if you liked the video. I only have 3 more arcs to cover, so click the bell to get notifications for those videos when they come out. Thanks so much for watching. Jam meow!